Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we return to Chess Ultimate, where chess meets funky pieces. I'm super excited to present the newest skin for a funky piece. If we head into the shop, everybody knows that on this channel the favorite piece from Chess Ultimate is the Mage, but now we have the I Want checkmate. And I mean, of course I have to get it for crying out loud, it's got my logo in its scepter. So we'll go ahead and grab this skin, and of course I have to equip it. If you want to support the creator of the game Chess Ultimate, consider getting this skin. I personally love it, and my goal today is to win one game using the I Want checkmate skin. Let's get started with game number one. Oh, and I've just noticed I have not been on this in a hot second, so I'll go ahead and clear out all of these real quick. Shout out the 106th person named Hi, that's pretty funny. Also shout out all the variations of like the channel name. I don't want checkmate, I love checkmate. I want ladders mate, I don't want checkmate, I love checkmate. I like chess, I have checkmate. I hate checkmate, I give checkmate, I also give checkmate. I need checkmate down here, the only checkmate. Oh my gosh. Okay, and with that, I can confirm that the left click on my mouse definitely works. Let's go ahead and actually create a mage setup now. Okay, we'll go ahead and play unranked. And first, obviously, I have to actually create a team. Let's go ahead. Oh, look, we already have a mage on this one. Look how handsome he is. Makes sense, makes sense. We'll go ahead and just clear the last. Oh no, this one is perfect to clear. Okay, we'll clear this one. And what we're looking for is pretty simple. Basically, we're gonna have at least a couple of pawns. Obviously, we'll have a mage who can pretty much be anywhere. I guess the pawns shouldn't be in front of the king because eventually I want to move them. And the idea is if you combine a long range piece, for example, the queen, get her to the back rank, swap her with a mage, and then swap the mage with a pawn, you can promote all of those pawns. So I guess the more the merrier as far as the pawns go. Go ahead and just throw a decent number down. I mean, we have 100 points to work with, so there's no point in being shy about how many pawns we put down. The only concern really would be the king's defense, and also maybe having multiple queens, so we have more opportunities to actually make it to the back rank. So as far as the king's defense, I think I'd like a devil in front of the king, right? So it can produce a couple of minions, and between those minions, hopefully that's enough to defend the king. Maybe we'll throw a checkers piece down as well, who I don't believe can be forced to capture this way, because obviously there's no square past that. Now that's only 71 points, although technically this is really the only skeleton we need. Why don't we throw down two mages? Twice as handsome as one. That puts us at 79, and maybe I should get rid of some of these pawns and put down a second queen. That only puts us at 90. Ooh, okay, I have a lot of points that I can work with. I mean, I don't really have anything that I want to do, so I guess I'll just put down a bishop, and we'll call it there at 99. All right, I think we have enough to work with here. Let's go ahead and queue up. All right, we have found a game. Let's go ahead and dive in. And we've we've been paired with I Want checkmate with spaces number 6. That's so funny. Okay, so what exactly is their setup? They have two squids. They have a parasite. They've got the berserkers, two devils next to the king, and a penguin as well. No gestures, so we can be totally sure that this is the actual king. Now the issue is, how exactly are we gonna get to the back rank? Let's start by centralizing the queen. I mean, at some point, if she's gonna get to the back rank, she's gonna have to be in an active position first, so I guess centralizing her makes plenty of sense. All right, the parasite advances. Now, am I safe to take here? I think we are, right? Because the berserker should only be able to move one square in every direction, so it shouldn't be covering the square, which is really good, because after we take, we're also threatening to move onto the back rank, and then we can do the swap, and then the swap again, and promote that pawn to a queen. Okay, the berserker advances. Now I'm a little concerned actually, because should I move the queen to the back rank, I guess they can just play anything, but after the swap and the mage is back there, they can just move the berserker next to the mage. Then I guess I can defend it with the queen, but then the parasite can walk in between. If I take the parasite, then the parasite just takes over my queen, and to be honest, that doesn't look great. So let's bring out the second queen, and good thing we have two. Maybe we can coordinate them, and if the parasite never jumps in the way, maybe we'll have a chance of actually defending that square and using the mage to promote a queen. Okay, the parasite moves back, so technically this is fine. We'll move the queen to the back rank, and now we just need 2 more turns, one to swap with a mage, and then another to swap with a pawn, but no such luck. Okay, the parasite does stand in between our 2 queens. I think we might have to just take a step back and reassess, because again, if I place that mage back there and swap it with the queen, the berserker can just stand next to us. The mage by itself doesn't actually make any capturing moves. So, you know, the best I can do is swap it back with a pawn, promote that, but then the berserker would just capture it. So no dice there. I guess we just go back, to be honest. Well, I could also just leave the queen there. I mean, there's no particular danger right now, at least. Let's go ahead and just create a minion. How about that? Yeah, we'll go to just create a minion. No specific plan, just pumping one out because I can. Okay, it advances. Now we definitely have to get the queen out of there because we're in danger of getting mind controlled by the parasite. So let's go ahead and skedaddle out of there. We'll just move back to here. I think that's fine. Oh, that also reminds me, you guys told me that I could enable the coordinates, which would make it a lot easier for me to explain my moves. So I have to do that before the next game. Okay, they freeze a whole bunch of their own pieces. That's definitely an amusing strategy. Let's move the queen back out of the way, and now I'm targeting the parasite. I'd imagine, however, that should I take, they can just take back. Okay, they unfreeze their pieces, and the penguin advances. I think they're just coming to freeze my queen, so I should definitely get out of there. Let's shuffle over to the other side of the board, and now I'm threatening to take this squid. I guess I could have done that with this queen as well. There was no need for me to create this minion, but it was fun to make, and look how cool he is. He dances around and everything. But okay, now we're threatening to target, or rather threatening to capture this squid. We're not doing great on time. I've just noticed that. Okay, the squid advances, but I can still just take it, so let's do that quickly. We've now managed to eliminate the 2 biggest threats to our position. Okay, I can definitely take that as well. Frankly, the biggest threats are the berserkers and the penguin, but the penguin is too far away, and I think the berserker just walked into the line of sight of my queen, so I can definitely get rid of him as well. Which means, oh, actually this is great, because none of these pieces have the capacity to defend a back rank square, right? Only the berserkers, the parasite, and the penguin have the capacity to sort of attack backwards or at least adjacent. But all of those pieces are on the other side of the board. So now I can push the queen to the back rank, and I should have plenty of time to swap with a mage, or an I want check mage, and then swap back with a pawn, and basically just have like a queen factory going on. Okay, that's a little concerning, but the devil just moves forward, I believe. So I don't think I actually have a concern there. I'm a little bit paranoid though, so I'm gonna move this queen back to what I want to call G8, but I think it's actually like G10. Okay, both of our minions have promoted. My minion is about to walk itself off the board. That's literally the lifespan of a minion. Okay, this guy goes to sleep. That's a little confusing why it didn't capture my queen. I did not realize that the minion could defend the back rank. I'm gonna be honest, I did not even know that was a possibility. Now it's threatening to capture the queen, so I guess I have to take it. Hopefully they can't produce a minion into one of my queens. That would be pretty devastating. But I don't think they can. I think they would have if that were a possibility. Okay, the penguin advances, and I think it's time to do exactly what we said we would. We'll swap the mage with the queen, and in one more turn, we will swap him back and create another queen out of one of these pawns. Also, our minion has walked off the edge already. RIP. It was fun while it lasted. Okay, the penguin advances again. I don't think I'm actually afraid of the penguin. Maybe I should be, I don't know. I just realized I could have also taken the devil, but I was so tunnel visioned on using my strategy that I totally forgot about it. Okay, let's swap the mage and the pawn, and it should either automatically promote to a queen bee or give me the option to promote it to a queen bee. Okay, cool. Yeah, we do in fact promote to a queen bee, and I guess now that I've done the strategy, I should probably just take, and that should be checkmate. All right, nice. With that, we do actually use the I want checkmate strategy to promote to a queen, and albeit redundantly, get that checkmate on, again, what I want to call F8, but is actually, I think, F10. Let's go ahead and enable those coordinates. Oh, also, of course, shout out my opponent, whose name is literally based off the channel, 10 out of 10 username. Okay, let's go to settings, gameplay, square notation. Nice. All right, now that we have that enabled, I can explain my misguided ideas more clearly. Okay, now we'll head back. I say we try it again. Let's go ahead and head back into unranked. I liked this setup. I don't think I would change a thing. Yeah, now I can actually see the squares. Was it actually G10? It was G10. Yeah, because I remember pointing out the fact that pawns are a little bit more nerfed, at least by the board design, because the back rank is further away, but using this sort of, long range piece to the back rank into a swap of the mage back into a swap of the pawn kind of just balances that back out. If not, tilt it to make pawns even stronger potentially. But okay, let's line up for the next game. All right, game number 2 has been found, and we are playing against Sephrant. Oh, we get to play first this time. Ooh, that is not a good sign. Okay, so obviously we have to deal with this immediately. I guess moving my queen out of the way is the best bet. If I move her anywhere along the H file, I'm definitely just getting captured. Moving her to G1 doesn't make any sense because she can only see H2 and H1, which she can't move to anyways, so I guess F1 is forced. On the bright side, I am looking at these rooks. I have them skewered, or I guess pinned, depending on how you want to look at it. I would call it skewered if the two pieces are of equal value. Along that A2 to H9 diagonal. Okay, I did not realize that the rook could just move down and skewer my own queens anyways, but I guess it's not the end of the world. Well, it kind of is, right? Because should I take back, the other rook could come in. Luckily, I can escape, but then I lose one of the mages, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. This is actually pretty terrible the more that I look at it. Okay, question is there absolutely anything I can do about this? And I need to be super creative. Oh look, they have a mage as well. Not an I want check mage, but a handsome mage nonetheless. Okay, I have 18 seconds. I think I have to take. I think that's my best bet. Do I think I have a good chance of winning? No, not at all, but I don't think I have better options either, so. Okay, now I have to move the queen out of the way, but then I lose one of the mages. If they sack for the second one and the king takes back, they are threatening checkmate, you know, after I lose the queen. Yeah, definitely not the best position I've ever been in. I don't have a lot of choices here though. Let's play a little bit aggressively. We'll play the queen to E5. We're gonna lose the mage, we'll move the checkers piece out of the way. Should they take, I take back. If they give that check, I can escape to B2. No, it's not ideal. No, I don't think I had any other choices. Okay, they shuffle the rook over, so they're actually worried about keeping them out of danger. Oh, if I advance this, they can take with the squid. This is a tough setup. I will say the rooks are pretty powerful when they're all lined up together like this. There has to be something I can do here. There's no way I'm this lost already. Okay, at least in the name of distraction, let's go ahead and develop this bishop and target the squid. Oh, I totally forgot I had to move that checkers piece. Yep. If I move it now, they can take, I take back. I can still escape, even though it's pretty ugly, and I lose both of my I want check mages, which was the entire point of playing this. Oh, they swap the rook for a mage. Now, why on earth would they do that? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm gonna take this squid. Technically an unfavorable trade, because the bishop is supposed to be worth more than the squid, but I need to unearth. That's why they did it. It was to swap it with the squid, and that's checkmate? Oh my goodness, it's checkmate because there's literally nothing I can do to defend this king. No matter what I play, they can capture to the side. Holy cow. Wait, is that a strategy? Okay, we lost game number 2. We're 1 for 2 at the moment, but I have to say, I'm very amused by the way that we lost that game. Hold on a second. So what happens if instead of promoting a whole bunch of pawns, which to be totally frank, just costs me a whole bunch of points? What if I just put squids down instead? First of all, they defend my position very well. Nobody wants to take a squid because it's worth a single point, and it leaves me a whole bunch of points that I can put down. So I can put down a free queen. I have 2 queens on the back rank already. Yeah, what if I just totally change my setup? What if I do something like this? We'll put these 2 bishops on the back rank. So if anybody tries to capture the squid, they will feel ashamed that they lost whatever piece they did to that squid. And what if the new strategy, oh, I'm over by 4 points. Wait, how am I over by 4 points? Are you guys that expensive? Okay, I guess I have the queen back here anyways. What if the strategy is get a queen to the back rank very close to the king and then just swap it with a squid? You don't even have to be that close. You can be 4 squares away and still be winning. I have to admit, it makes a lot of sense. In my head, it makes a lot of sense at least. Okay, let's give this a try. It's different from what I originally set out to do, but it still includes the mage as part of the strategy. So let's see how this works out. All right, we find a game. Let's go ahead and dive in, and we're paired against Unstoppable. We'll do our best to prove otherwise. Okay, they have a whole bunch of snipers. They have 2 squids themselves, copycats, and they have a mage. This actually seems super promising. Actually, wait, is this checkmate in 1? Oh no, because the copycats can move inward, but I can definitely take this on the first turn. I don't think there's anybody hidden back there. No, there doesn't seem to be. I'm not even sure if they've used all their points here. Maybe the snipers are just that expensive. But okay, they only have 1 move, which is cover with the copycat, and then they are threatening to take my queen. Oh, I guess they could cover with the sniper as well, actually. So they have options here, but I have to admit, this looks really good for us. I'm very curious to see how they defend this. Oh, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even consider that, but they do swap the king and the mage, which is totally valid too. Now, as far as our strategy of getting to the back rank, it's kind of hard to make progress if the king's going to be on this side of the board, but I can just take this way as well, and we basically have the exact same thing. Oh, they have a ghost! That explains so much. You know what? I was wondering how they had more points in their setup than we did when we have so many pieces down, but 15 points, I believe, is what a ghost is worth. So that actually explains a lot. Now, it has to be within these 3 ranks. That's as much space as you get to set up your board. I'd imagine it's not on any of these squares though, because they've spent a lot of time on this move. They would have taken my queen by now on either of these 2 squares. So if I had to guess, the ghost is on the back rank, which is admittedly kind of strange. But the only 2 other squares for it to have been on would be F9 and C9, right? Because the squids were on these squares. So it has to be, right? It can't be on these squares. They would have taken my queen on one of those 2 moves. So it has to be on the back rank, which is very interesting, a very interesting choice. They have 3 seconds left to move. I don't think they're going to make it in time. They don't. Oh, that's a little bit of a shame. And the ghost disappears off the board as well. Okay, we won that game, but I didn't actually get to use the strategy. So I was going to play 3. Let's go ahead and play 4 games. My worst nightmare, to be honest, is the opponent gets to move first and they have a setup that aims directly at my 2 queens on the left side of the board. If they have anything but that, I think I'm fine. Or I guess they can have bishops on the right side pointing to the left side. The setup is a little bit shaky, but I have faith. Okay, we do find a game. Let's go ahead and dive in against Voided 24. What is this? I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. Okay, obviously one of these 2 is a fake king and the other one is real. They don't have any ghosts, so what you see is what you get. This is their actual setup, and they move their ninja forward straight ahead. Now, what on earth is stopping me from just diving into the back rank right now? I would argue nothing, and they do cover it up. You're gonna tell me that you didn't put your strongest piece right next to your real king, and you're gonna try and tell me that you didn't just defend your real king with a parasite? I'm not buying it. I think that's the real king right there. I think that's the gesture on D1. I think we've got the real one on E1. Okay, now we have to be careful advancing these squids though. I could also just swap, actually. Does that make sense? And then the parasite would take over one of my squid? I guess it's fine. Okay, let's do, but if I swap now, the parasite shuffles over. Can I swap into a squid that captures? I think I can. I think that's exactly what the previous opponent did. Okay, let's give it a try. I want checkmate, activate. Switch with the queen. Beautiful. Okay, we'll see what the opponent does. I'm genuinely very curious. Okay, they do swap, or rather they do shuffle the parasite over. So if we can't swap this mage with the squid, I'm kind of toast. Oh, but we can. Okay, let's move you back to F9. Can I do that, please? I would like to swap you with a squid, please. Uh-oh. I think we're in trouble. Oh no, there we go. We got it. Okay, so we swapped, so the squid should get taken over by the parasite. No, the squid is one of the few ones that can capture a parasite. But it's not going to tell us if it's checkmate, even though I think it definitely is. Yeah, they forfeited. Okay, cool. I was gonna say it's not gonna tell us if it's checkmate because the opponent does have a gesture on the board. So by the game's logic, if it told us it was checkmate, then what's the point of the gesture? Okay, so we did actually manage to win with that strategy. Shout out the opponent that crushed us with the squid swap. So that we could move on and crush a future opponent with the same idea. Anyways, again, if you guys do want to download the skin, it can support the creator of this game who is solo deving this entire project. Super cool guy. So shout out Jesse. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I'm starting to realize there's more depth to using the mage strategy than just putting a pawn on the back rank. I had never considered the squid swap idea, and I'd be willing to bet there are other ideas as well. I'm just starting to think that swapping a bomb to the back rank would be pretty decent as well, the more that I think about it. But anyways, if you guys have any mage themed strategies that you think I should try, I'd love to hear them. I think they're pretty tricky and interesting to use. Gives me an excuse to use the skin as well. Leave them down in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.